have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The mind in itself has no needs, except for those it creates itself, is undisturbed except for its own disturbances, knows no obstructions except those from within. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life, now take what's left and live it properly. To be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea falls still around it. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, unless with a view to some mutual benefit. To wonder what so-and-so is doing, and why, or what he's saying, or thinking, or scheming. In a word, anything that distracts you from fidelity to the ruler within you means a loss of opportunity for some other task. The best way to avenge oneself is not to become like the enemy. Pleasures, when they go beyond a certain limit, are but punishments. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. How much time he saves who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The man who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. Your life is what your thoughts make it. The universe is transformation, life is opinion. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. The happiness of those who want to be popular depends on others. The happiness of those who seek pleasure fluctuates with moods outside their control, but the happiness of the wise grows out of their own free acts. How much time he saves who does not look to see what his neighbor says, or does, or thinks. What we do now echoes in eternity. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The most important things in life are the connections you make with others. Your actions are your own. Don't be distracted by the opinions of others. We are not given control over external events, but we can control how we respond to them. Don't waste your time on what you can't control. Focus on what you can control. We should not be disturbed by things that are not in our power, nor should we desire them. The present moment is all we have, so focus on making the most of it. Death is a release from the impressions of the senses and from desires that make us their puppets. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Don't let your emotions control you, but use them as a guide to your actions. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. If you wish to be a writer, write. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. There is no such thing as a good or bad fortune for the individual. There is only the life which the man himself makes. For the one who is living an excellent life, any misfortune is only a small thing. And for the one who is living a worthless life, even a small misfortune is unbearable. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Friendship is the only cement that will ever hold the world together. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. In a disordered mind, as in a disordered body, soundness of health is impossible. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Courage is knowing what not to fear. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. We must not say every mistake is a foolish one. Happiness depends upon ourselves. It does not matter how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get up. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. There is no passion so contagious as that of fear. We should not moor a ship with one anchor, or our life with one hope. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change.